evening, Karen Eastman. Thank you for coming on my show this evening. As you know, we're Cozy Up and Pay Attention. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Cozy. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
Well, you're welcome. And before I go further and let the audience know more about you, I want to tell you, you may not know, this beautiful woman sitting here on the table is my mom, and we're going to call her Cozy's mom. Also, what I have on the table is some water that I can't seem to live without. It's called Simple Truth, and what I like about the water is that I'm simple and I love to tell the truth. So that is a company that I'm promoting because I believe in it.
Excellent.
Give me my water.
Oh, there you go.
Give me my water. Jesus Christ. It wasn't for you to take. And then what's on the table is my book, Cozyisms, The Art of Paying Attention, which brings us here today. The show is created around the book, and we'll talk about positive things and what's going on in the community. And you as a community business owner, I'd like you please to tell the audience, you heard Karen, but your name, where you're born and raised, how long you've been in Vegas, what kind of business you have, Karen, that can help the audience in all of us have times of need right now. How can they help you grow your business, and just as importantly, how can you help them? Take it away.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Cozy. So my name is Karen Eastman. The company I'm with is Solve B2B Solutions. We are a small business consulting firm, and what we do is we help small businesses to basically create a roadmap. A lot of businesses start and they just think about, I just graduated from floral school, and I'm gonna make big flower arrangements and just create a life for my family, but they really don't map out their goals. They don't set goals. And in this time, what I'm finding is that a lot of business owners are not advertising, which is kind of crazy for this time. They're not advertising because it's COVID. And I said, well, if you're not advertising, it's like kissing a girl, or excuse me, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. She doesn't know you're there.
Unless she's blind.
So, well, if it's dark, can't see it. So it's very difficult for business owners that if they're not advertising, people really don't know if they're open or not. So I basically ask them questions about their business. Where do they see their business in the next 6 to 12 months? What I find, Cozy, is that nobody's asked them any questions about their business. Let's say they've been in business 5-6 years. Mm-hmm. They were so passionate and excited about what they did when they first started. Mm-hmm. And now they've had, let's just say the florist, okay? She's had employees that didn't show up for work, showed up drunk or stoned, late, didn't show up at all. She's had vendors that didn't show up with the roses on Valentine's Day. She has this crappy landlord. These are things that I'm not having to ask her what are her pain points, because if I said, what are the things that bother you the most, she's probably not going to tell me. What I really want to do is I want to ask the question of where do you see your business in the next 6 to 12 months? My favorite part of that question, Cozy, is at that point I become invisible. And why I want to become invisible is because I want them to start dreaming again. I want that passion to come back with the business owner. And I get very emotional about that too, actually.
Are you gonna cry?
Maybe.
I had a crier on here.
No,
do I need to get tissues?
No tissues.
Oh, okay.
I won't get that far.
All right.
I just might.
Billy Bob, do I need to get the tissues? We don't do crying on podcasts.
I do get emotional because I'm so excited about listening to these business owners and hearing them think about, they'll give me a pat answer like, oh, I want to expand my business, or I want to grow my business in the next 6 to 12 months. Well, where are you at right now? Well, I'm at $100,000 a year. Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to have that in the next 6 to 12 months? I need a number because I need to see where we're going to expand them to. So they give me the number. They say, I want to increase by 20%. I want to bring on a couple of new employees. And I'll say, is there anything else you can think of? Well, whatever. What do you think if you could have that just the way you want it? What would be the best part about that? And they start thinking a little bit more. Well, I could take a couple days off. I had a couple of employees quit on me. I haven't had a day off in 16 days. Oh, what would be so good about that? Well, I'd be able to, rest a little bit. Maybe if I had a couple of new employees, I'd be able to recoup some of the money I've lost. Why would that be the best part? So it sounded to me when I first started this questioning that it was redundant. But what I realized is once I start asking a business owner these questions, they really start going inside themselves. So when I ask them, why would that be the best part? I've had people say, because I really want my daughter to have her own bedroom. I want to be able to move into a bigger house. I promised my wife I would take her on a vacation, and I really have not been able to do that. Just different things that really help that business owner to understand where they are, because now they've gone for the last 3 to 4 years doing this. Okay, I've got that deal with the landlord. I've got that deal with the, I just got to go to work today. I've just got to do the overhead, and they're sticking the flowers in the thing, not like they used to do, right? And so just seeing what can happen. So the name of my company, which I don't think I mentioned, is Solve B2B Solutions. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. I come from an entrepreneurial family. We owned a meat market, a trucking company, a travel agency. I grew up as a travel agent for 35 years. I was B.B. King's travel agent my whole life.
You.
It was just a blessing, actually. An
You
honor.
Lucille?
Yes. A privilege and an honor to be able to do that. So I've been in this valley since 1976. I've been in Nevada since 1966. I went to high school here, went to El Dorado High School for all those L dogs out there.
If I can,
Yeah.
only because our time is going away here.
Sure.
When you say small, and the audience is watching, give us a number. What is your best? What is the number for a small business? Is it 1 to 20 people? Is it 1 to 100 people?
That
helps the
1 and
audience.
50 people.
1 to 50?
Between 1 and 50 people. My sweet spot is roughly between maybe 10 and 25.
You know where my sweet spot is? No.
No. I'm not going there. I know you too well.
Billy Bob, you're gonna have to put me in a closet sooner or later. I'm just out of control. Bad cozy.
I know you too well, Cozy.
Okay. Well, you said sweet spot, I'm sure.
I know. I didn't say G spot. I said
It
sweet
doesn't
spot,
matter. It's
but
still
anyway.
sweet. All right. Okay. Here's where we are. You have done so well. Our time is getting less. So we're going to go straight to a cozyism and see what we can work with. And if I ask you something you're not comfortable with, please ask me to give you something else. And again, I want to know what you were thinking, how it makes you think or think about, and then I'll tell you how I came up with the cozyism.
Got it.
So,
You want to let me pick?
no, because we got germs, and you can't put your hand in my can. Or anywhere else in my can. I did it again, Billy Bob. All right, a cozyism. I've been dying. I should have taken this one out the can. Here goes. You ready?
I don't know.
I know it. That man is so fine. I just need 45 minutes and 30 seconds
Ooh,
with him.
I was hoping I'd get that.
Did you?
I was.
Hit it, Karen.
I have been with the same man for 32 years,
Oh,
and
my.
I think that every day.
Really?
There has not been a moment that I've not wanted to be with him. And yeah. I mean, who says that?
I know. Well,
I'm blessed.
what are you going to do with him for 45 minutes and 30 seconds?
Every day, you mean?
No. Let me read this
45
again.
seconds.
That man is so fine. I just need 45 minutes and 30 seconds with him.
You want me to tell you what I'm going to do with him?
I
don't
that's
think so.
on cozyism.
I don't think so.
She gave me 32 years. I'm asking for 45 minutes. Who's greedy? Me or her? I think you're greedy.
I'm not greedy. I'm just blessed.
This is probably, I'm going to bail you out here.
Okay.
This is a single woman's question.
Right, it is a single.
A
You want to give me a
nasty,
different one?
a nasty, no, because we're running out of time here.
Oh,
So,
okay.
my turn. And it's pretty self-explanatory. One thing about me as a senior, I wasn't always, right? None of us were. And in my heyday, my youth, my past, I was a very active female. And I lived in New York City, and I would walk down the street and look at these handsome men and just do this. And no one ever said no. You had to see what I looked like. They were supposed to say yes. And all I wanted was to do them for 45 minutes and 30 seconds. This isn't a card about dinner. This isn't a card about marriage. This isn't a card about dating. This is a card about doing. It says, I just need 45 minutes and 15 seconds. And again, with this brain that just goes out to lunch and goes wherever it goes, and I don't know, I'm somewhat not responsible a lot of times for what comes and goes out of this mouth and this head. It was just going back and thinking of how wonderful my life is and has been, where we were again as a society way back. Were you ever wild?
I wouldn't say
Probably
wild.
not. How old were you when you got married?
30.
Oh, so did you do everybody between 20 and 30 like I did?
I will plead the fifth on that.
Oh, shucks, Karen, you're no fun. You should have asked
No
me.
fun.
This is for somebody who wants to be fun, have fun. You a boring 32-year-old married woman.
No, it wasn't
That's
boring.
okay. That's all right. It was
That's
more
as
for
far
me.
as I'm gonna go
It was more
with
for me.
that.
Oh God, should have told me. I'm putting this one back in. Oh no, I'm not. No. Jeez. Anyway, again, this one does not take. You know what? Let's try this. Let's try this, Karen. Oh, this one is one of my favorites. They're all my favorites. They're mine, aren't
I
they?
asked you which one was your favorite. You
They're
said
all my
of them.
favorites. They're all my favorites. The heaviest burden to mankind is always having to be a man.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
is that in the book?
Mm-hmm.
I caught you on one of those. It wasn't in the book, remember?
And it's not a place to talk about, Karen.
Okay.
You're supposed to answer the
Burden of
question.
mankind
Yeah.
is not having to be a man.
The heaviest burden to mankind is always
It's
having
always
to
having
be a man.
I interpret that as, now coming from you, I have to think differently.
No, you don't.
No? Okay.
No,
Just
I'm
how
going
I
to
would
tell you. You
interpret
can't.
that.
Don't
Okay.
try to get in here. It's
Okay.
not a safe place.
Gotcha.
It's you don't want to be in
Um,
there. Sometimes I don't want to be in here.
I think there's a lot of preconceived ideas of what in a man's mind of what he needs to be, and I think there's a lot of walls that they put up a lot of times, and wow, it's kind of a hard thing to put into perspective. I'm gonna hand it back over to you.
Okay, good. I am also a woman, as I talk on the show and make jokes about this, that, and the other. I love men. I absolutely love them for the difference that they bring as genders, and because they're supposed to be less emotional than we are. It's not true.
Right.
They have to act like they're less emotional than we are. And I think statistics has proven they die first, don't they die first? As a rule, because they're constantly having to hold down everything, constantly having to, what did he teach? What did they say to every mother, man or woman says to every little boy, except me? He falls down, he scrapes his knee, he's 3 years old, and what do they say?
You're all right.
No, they say don't cry.
Oh.
You got boys, I'm sure you told your boys, don't cry, let them cry. What the heck? They're 3, they're 4, they're 5, they're even 12.
Right.
Having to, and now, you know, with again, generations have changed and changed, and a woman's not home anymore, and women do go out now and help the man. Well, let's go back when the wagon train days, and men were just going out. So it's, to me, because I love my men so much, and I have such great relationships with them, my heart bleeds that they just always have to, and that's why pretty much I have so many male friends. My friends have cried with me. My friends have shared with me their pains with me, their displeasures, their dislikes. We have conversations on our differences, how I would think about it, and it works both ways. But right now, I give them the female point of view, and they'll say, wow, I've had quite a few of my male friends tell their friends, every man needs to have a friend like Cozy. I love men, so let's put that out there. I do. And I say it jokingly, but I just think, I look at people as human beings. That's just me being an individual. We know what the biggest difference is. I won't bring that up because then I'll start talking other ways. But outside of a certain biology, we're all the same. So why can't men cry? Why can't men, I mean, they can, but why isn't it accepted? And most of what we talk about on the show comes down to one word. It's called societal. It's what's been out there. It's what's been practiced, preached, and before television, we heard it. Now we've got commercials to tell us what to think, how to do it, what not to do. And I also think it's a sad state for men to grow up thinking that they can't be themselves. Who are they? And there are a lot of men. Billy Bob, you have a best friend?
I do.
Okay. And men, I don't know if men have as many, probably less. No, I would think every man has a best friend or two, right? That's who they go have beers with and get in trouble when they come home late. Ask Kevin Hart. It's necessary. It is it's great. It's right up there with good health.
Right.
And I believe in crying, something else that I don't hold back because it keeps me healthy. So yes, when I look at life and look at the world and it's as it is and the relationships that I have and talk to as many people as I do, the heaviest burden to mankind is always having to be a man. The fact that maybe some men couldn't cry to their ladies, or I don't know who they cry to. And then it usually has to be a death. Well, death isn't the only thing that breaks men's hearts or makes them sad. Life makes them sad. The fact that they have to go out there and try to provide for their families, to try to provide for themselves, and whatever it takes, and sometimes it takes a lot. Even the man who's making $500,000, you want to believe he's the happiest man in the world? He's not. That's a hell of a lifestyle to have to maintain, right? So I want women, I want you all to start having some more compassion for men and stop putting them on this, it's not even a pedestal, it's a ladder or a step that says, this is your job, and it's not. Now, I will tell you what their job is to somewhat make you happy. Back to the word, my PHP title, Professional Happy Person. The show again is about providing happiness, thinking about being happy, thinking about being positive. So if your man comes home and he's got a frown and you know what kind of job he has, you know within reason, if you've been with him any kind of time, what he's going through outside the house. Try not to make him feel less when he comes in the house, especially if he wants to share. And I think it's a piss poor relationship where a man cannot tell his woman what's bothering him, what's eating at him, because at the end of the day, it does destroy relationships.
And the person.
Yes, but again, if it destroys him, then it destroys everything around him. So those of you who are out there telling your little boys they can't cry when they fall, stop it. They fell. I do believe though, and it hurts. That's right. I was at my girlfriend's the other day, and he fell once, and nobody looked. I was the only one in the living room, so I didn't look at him. I knew better. I didn't cry. And then another time he did, and the mother and father, and of course when they did that kid wasn't hurt. It's that reaction.
Right.
And we know, I'm not saying your kid's got blood gushing out of his head, right? His neck is spinning half off, rush him to the hospital. But we know, okay, that's the lighter side of it. So, yeah. You know, Karen, I want my audience to hear a little bit more about, I want you to be a little more specific. I think when the audience hears a specific incident, it can relate to them. So I already asked you what your audience is, or your business, you're up to 50. Can you give the audience an example of someone that called you, that size business, what they needed, and how you took them from your first phone call, the meeting, to now they are doing well?
Absolutely. So one that stands out to me is one that I've been working very closely with for about the last 8 months. And it's a small restaurant that just opened in January. So generally I'm working with businesses that have been in business for a while. These folks had just started in January, and then of course COVID hit. Amazingly enough, they've been able to sustain through the whole thing and grow. Of course now where they got up to in March, they've dropped. But when I say grow, they've been building since then. Since the drop, they've been building back up since then. Now, when I first got together with them, we had been in contact. It's a local company within a local little restaurant within my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I had spoken to them and talked to them about what I did and how I could help them grow. So we sat down and had a conversation and really looked at the things, especially with COVID, because I didn't meet them till May, how I could help them to get themselves out there and to really make use of this time. Because I think this time is a time for businesses to think in a way that will project them outside of COVID. So there's a lot of business owners that are so used to doing the same thing. Well, we've always done it this way, but that's not going to be really effective after this. So I worked with this business. The first thing I did, it was one of my favorite things, is that this gentleman had never seen a QR code. And so I created a QR code for his menu, and I created a birthday club, a VIP and birthday club, so that we could, as a restaurant, you really don't have any way to collect information, and you want to create a way to get your customers to come back, but you don't really know who they are. You know what I mean? So you might recognize a few of them, but you really kind of want to have a way to reach out to your customer base and reward them in some way for coming into your restaurant. So we created the QR code. I came in and I said, hey, I got to show you something. I said, take a look at this. He did. I said, now take your phone and turn on the camera. And he did. And I said, now hold it over here. Don't push the button. So it pops up. And when the menu popped up on his phone, he almost started to cry.
Oh.
And he said, oh my God, now my customers will know how much I care about them. That was so meaningful to me. Then with the VIP club and birthday club, we've been collecting information. We've been doing special sales and special, we're actually going to start some things that are on a regular quarterly basis where they have an appetizer night for just the VIPs. And they'll come in and they'll have some new appetizers that everybody can treat. They can get to know the other neighbors in the neighborhood. So it's a marketing thing. It's a creating relationships thing. Gift cards is a huge thing right now, and especially before Christmas. It's another stream of income. And so business owners have to figure out a way to create these extra streams of income. So if they have a brick and mortar walk-in where they sell clothing, maybe they could put them online and ship the clothing, because they can't have that many people coming in the store now. So if they weren't doing that before, then that might be an option for them. But that's been very rewarding for me to see the progress and to be able to put numbers. And I work very closely with them on what are your numbers, what were your numbers January, February, March. Now we've gone through the whole year. Now we have a foundation. Now we have something to work with next year. Let's see what you did last year with no COVID. January, February, March. Now let's look at April through December and see what you did in COVID, and let's see where we can take it in this following year. Now we're still going to be in COVID probably for the next 6 months. So whatever that looks like, whatever that turns out, we're going to focus on the ways to, a lot of these restaurants are using Grubhub and Postmates and all these kind of things. It's costing them a lot of money to use those companies. So we really do look at the numbers and try to help them to be able to figure out ways that they can maybe cut back on that a little bit and pick up from that. So enough about me, Cozy. I have a favor to ask you. I brought your book with me. Would you sign it for me?
No.
Please. Are you going to make me beg?
No.
Cozy, please.
No. How can I ask you to beg? And you were kind enough to support me by purchasing my book, and hopefully you'll tell others and those that you're in your circle to help me out as well.
And I read it cover to cover, by the way.
Oh,
the first time I looked at it.
Did you?
It was really hard.
I wanted it to be short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah.
And I think I accomplished that. And what I'd like you to do as I autograph your book is please, once again, tell the audience, name your number, telephone number,
Absolutely.
email, website. How can they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. Karen Eastman, Solve B2B Solutions. The website is solve B, the number 2, B solutions.com. The website, the email is solveb2bsolutions@gmail.com. My direct number is 702-249-8555. I can text, send me a pigeon, a fire signal, a phone call, a text, whatever it is. I'm happy to answer questions, help set up a program. Maybe there are needs that they have, but we can certainly go through that and ascertain those kind of things. So I'm looking forward to being able to help these businesses in the valley to sustain and get through this and really come out on the other side on top. I appreciate you, Cozy. Thank
Did
you
you
for
give a phone number? Did I
chance.
just not hear because I'm too
I
busy
did.
writing my heart out to you?
I did. You did. I did give my number out. Thank you very much. 702-249-8555.
All right. Well, we want to thank you for coming on the show, and again, hopefully we can help some other small businesses. I know you and I are going to sit down and talk down the line. I've got Billy Bob, and now I have to find someone who compliments Billy Bob. I just want to be grateful for any and
Billy
everyone.
Bob's an awesome guy. That's a compliment, isn't it?
No, Billy Bob knows this. I'm going to bring my ruler. Next show, the ruler. It's something about having your friends on. They take these liberties. You have to say, oh God, please. No, it's fine. Everything is wonderful. And I do appreciate you being on here. And I mean that. And by the way, for whatever it's worth, Karen also has a recycle bin that I put my water, my Simple Truth water bottles, ta-da, go in Karen's recycle bin because my condo doesn't have one.
So funny.
It's true. I made a
bin
deposit yesterday. Again, trying to do what I can for the environment. And folks, I thank you for watching again this week, and hopefully you'll stay with us. And we're adding some kind of positive light to your life. We're adding happiness in some way, shape, or form, or adding, allowing you to think about being more happy, being more positive, being more friendly, being a better person, and help to keep this world, create a better world. We can all use it. Who the heck wants to be around such negativity and negative Nellies? So as I close out, here goes. Close the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, and don't lie. I know you've got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. Good night. See you next week.